The infamous rogue doc Shiv has created some impressive specimens over the years, but none quite as glorious as Gorshiv Hammerfist. Arguably the most powerful stimmer to ever bear the title, Gorshiv was created, if rumours are to be believed, from the parts of a dozen failed experiments, bone and muscle grafted together before being pumped full of custom genetic stimulants. Gorshiv is fanatically loyal to his creator, perhaps because Shiv keeps injecting him with her own blend of stims and growth chems. When he first left her labs, Gorshiv was little more than a thug looking to make trouble. Now, years later, the stimmer is a towering murder machine. Hello there, and welcome back to Wellywood Wargaming. My name is Damon, and this is the huge series where I give you bite-sized videos on every single Dramatis Personae, agent, hired gun, and hanger-on in the game of Necromunda. We're into the G's now as we get through this, and of course we've got Gorshiv Hammerfist here. This guy is the poster boy for Cinderak Burning, which is the first Aranthian succession book. If none of that makes sense, that's the first hardback book in the latest series of sort of campaign books that we've had. Gorshiv is the guy on the front cover art. He's got a big green beard and a spiky Mohican. Now there is a model for this guy, like there is for every single Goliath character so far, it seems. This guy is one of the many Goliath Forge World miniatures that you can buy, and I've got to say, he's one of the better ones. I actually quite like this miniature. It is still ridiculous. It's just as ridiculous as the other Goliath miniatures, but this one is extra ridiculous, but it's pretty nice though. I've got to be honest, it's better than Killfist, Durgan Killfist. I'm not a fan of that model, as you probably know if you've watched this series so far. This one though, Gorshiv, is quite a bit nicer. Not only is he much better in the game than Killfist, but the model's quite a lot nicer too, if you ask me. Let's have a look at the model now though. We've got a very muscle-bound Goliath. I mean, they're all muscle-bound. This guy's next level though. He's got muscles in places that you just can't have muscles, in his armpits and stuff. Dual wielding these massive hammers called Wreck and Ruin. Don't know which one's Wreck or Ruin, but we'll look at the rules for those in a second. But he's standing on a sort of cog, so we've got a really nice looking base actually, which is quite unusual for Forge World stuff, like quite an intricate looking base with a giant industrial cog on it and some skulls, which is always cool. So it's nice to have like an actual base for this guy. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, that's good in itself. We've got the usual sort of Goliath trappings on this guy. We've got the spiky Mohican is quite typical. Same with the sort of leg sort of armor and trousers, as well as the sort of shoulder pads there as well. Everything's quite typical looking for a Goliath, but this guy is quite a lot bigger. He's a stimmer, so he's quite a lot bigger than your average Goliath. I haven't actually got this model, but I've seen it, and it's a really nice centerpiece to a collection, particularly as a leader for a Goliath gang. You could completely just use him as a leader for a Goliath gang, or you could use this guy in an outcast gang or something like that, but the base model is pretty nice. The two hammers are totally ridiculous, but why not? It's pretty fun, eh? Anyway, let's look at how this guy is in the game. So Gorshiv Hammerfist, how much does he cost? 260 credits, which isn't actually that much when you consider how good this guy is. He is, unlike Durgan Killfist, is also very good in the game. This guy, he has it all really, but I'll go through the stats first. We've got a movement of 4, which is your typical Goliath movement. It's a bit slow, which is a shame, but that's really the only downside to this guy, if I'm honest. Weapon skill 2+, fantastic. Ballistic skill 4+, so a typical sort of stimmer there. Strength 5. Toughness 4, initiative 3 up, which is quite good for a Goliath, and 4 attacks, which is fantastic. We've also got a leadership 6, cool of 4+, excellent, willpower of 7+, and intelligence of 8+, so fairly typical again in terms of your mental stats there. But now we get into the weapons and skills and stuff here. So this guy's got quite a bit going on. Wreck and Ruin, the two power hammers, are paired. So they get the paired trait, and their strength +1, which takes you to a whopping strength 6, meaning you're wounding most guys with a toughness 3 on 2s with these massive hammers. Now, they are -2 AP, which is better than your average hammer. They've also got 2 damage, paired, and power as well. So having the power trait is always scary, especially when they're paired, meaning that your base attacks of 4 jumps to 8 when you charge, meaning that you get +1 attack for charging and another attack for the offhand weapon. Takes you to 10 attacks on the charge, which is the same as a Delac Piscean Spectre, I believe. Absolutely disgusting. Having 10 attacks hitting on 2s wounding on twos most of the time with power is, frankly, nothing survives that. So you know, there are many things in the game that have this sort of devastating close combat potential, but this guy really is right at the top of that pile. He's also got a stub gun as well, just a point out. He's got a stub gun here with a ballistic skill of 4+, which is nice to have, but you're not going to use it very often, but it is nice to have. And skills-wise, we have ball charge and walk it off. Ball charge, again, gives you +1 strength on the charge, plus knockback, which is pretty nice. So taking you to strength 7 with knockback, pretty gross. And we've also got walk it off as well, which is a muscle skill, which means that you can shake off flesh wounds and stuff by double moving and stuff. We've also got flak armor, which is a little bit of a letdown, and kind of strange actually, if I'm honest. Why flak armor on a Goliath instead of furnace plates? It looks like he's wearing furnace plates, but apparently not. He's also got the typical Stimmer combat chem stash here as well, so you can roll a d6 when activated to modify the attack characteristic until the end of the round. So on a d6 roll of 1, your attacks are just 1. On a d6 roll of 2, your attacks are +1, so you get 5 attacks. On a 3 to 4, +2 attacks, and on a 5 to 6, +3 attacks, so that takes your base attacks to 7, meaning that you get 14, 16 attacks or something ridiculous like that. Are you ever going to really need these combat chems stashes? Sure, like why not? If you want, I mean, it's already overkill, but you may as well go even more. Obviously, if you roll a 1 though, it's not great, but you're still probably killing a lot of stuff, even with the 1 base attack, to be honest, because you've still got paired, you're still charging, you've still got ball charge. It's still really nasty, no matter how many attacks you've got. Whether you need 14 or 16 attacks or whatever it is, it's entirely up to you. Now, what I'm missing out here is the sort of special rule that he's got as well. This is sort of baked into his skills, I suppose. We have a rule called implaceable. And this is what makes this guy an absolute monster in the game. He can never be pinned while when hit by ranged attacks at all. So he just can't be pinned, so he doesn't have to roll for Nerves of Steel. He's got better than that, he just can't be pinned. He's also never moved by any skills or traits either. So he can't be knocked back, he can't be, it's really scary. So not pinned and not moved at all. This guy is fully implaceable. And that special rule there is what takes this guy to the next level. Of course, he's very scary, but if he could be pinned, there would be ways to circumnavigate this guy. And of course, the one way that you might be able to beat this guy is by setting him on fire, or webbing him or something. But I mean, you'd find it hard to stop this guy coming at you anyway when he can't be pinned or moved or anything. So, maybe slow, but when he gets there, I mean, everything is dead, basically. So Ambots, doesn't matter what it is, he is smushing it with his 2 hammers. And that's really that for Gorshiv Hammerfist. Nice model, definitely a very, very top tier contender in this as well. So it's going to be interesting when I go back and put these guys in tiers. This guy is going to be somewhere near the top, you can put it that way. He's certainly not near the bottom anywhere. He's the cream of the crop. And yeah, I'd be interested to know if any of you have used this guy in any games so far, because I haven't got the model yet. But I'd be very, very keen on using him as an outcast leader. I think in an outcast leader gang, he would be really interesting sort of character to use with a bunch of cheap scum chaff, while this guy just wades through everybody and smushes you with his giant paired hammers. Anyway, I'm rambling already. Please do like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.